Welcome to my e-Portfolio guided tour. This tour is an overview of what you can expect to find within my e-Portfolio. An e-Portfolio is an organized, personalized, digitized collection of artifacts that tells a story of deep learning through metacognitive reflection. This e-Portfolio tells the story of my learning in the University of British Columbia Master of Educational Technology program. I began the program in the fall of 2011. I completed the 4 required core courses first and then chose 6 electives, including the final course ETEC590, in which I have created this e-Portfolio as a capstone project. The main purpose of this e-Portfolio is to reflect on and synthesize my learning over the past 2 years. In addition, it will meet the graduating requirements as well as provide me with a Category 6 teacher certification upgrade in British Columbia. Just as there are several purposes, so there are also more than one audience. I have created this primarily for myself as a reflection tool. It is also intended for my present instructors and fellow classmates, as well as educators and future MET students. I began the process of this e-Portfolio by creating a proposal, which was a plan of action. While I stayed with the main idea, there were many changes that happened while I worked on the e-Portfolio. Unplanned links between learning became clear. In addition, some of the artifacts I had originally chosen seemed less applicable, and so I substituted them for others. Further changes were made as I sought to balance my artifacts and course presentations, as well as through the input of peer reviewers. There are 2 ways to navigate through this e-Portfolio. The first is in a linear fashion using the navigation bar at the top, or the links at the top of each page, or the button at the bottom that takes you to the next page in sequence. A second way to navigate is for you, the reader, to use hyperlinks to follow your interest. In his book, Writing Space, Computers, Hypertext, and the Remediation of Print, Bolter refers to hypertext as a new form of writing, allowing you, the reader, to choose your own path through a network of interconnected writings. The hyperlinks that connect within the e-Portfolio demonstrate the interconnectivity of my own learning, while those that are without demonstrate my connection to a wider panel of experts that have informed my learning. I have organized my e-Portfolio around the theory of constructivism. Through the MET program, I've had the opportunity to examine a number of learning theories and to think about my own practice and beliefs. One theory of learning that has stood out above all others is constructivism. It has been both modeled through the design of the MET courses as well as taught overtly through courses such as ETEC590 and ETEC512. Constructivism is a theory of knowing. Basic to the theory of constructivism is the idea that students take ownership of their learning. They are builders of their own knowledge. By framing my knowing according to constructivist tenets, I will demonstrate how I have taken ownership and built my own knowledge. There are many brands of constructivism, as well as frameworks and strategies. For the purpose of this e-Portfolio, I have condensed the various tenets into 4 main tenets that I believe are essential: engage, connect, apply, and reflect. Engage. In order for students to be motivated to build knowledge, they must be engaged in their learning. Key ways to engage students are through offering real-world, authentic problems, having them ask and answer questions, and through critical thinking. In the MET program, I've had the opportunity to actively engage in my own knowledge building rather than sit back and be fed information. While the topics in each course have been prescribed, I have been given the freedom through various assignments to pursue my own interests. Instructors, a wider panel of experts through literature, and fellow classmates have helped to guide my thinking, resulting in new knowledge being formed in a number of areas. The ability to engage has contributed to sustained motivation and changed my thinking and practice. Connect. Learning is a social construct. Essential to learning is collaboration, which allows students to gain multiple perspectives. A second important aspect of connecting with others is learning through scaffolding. This is a term associated with Russian theorist Lev Vygotsky. He believed that children learn through interactions with adults and more capable peers. The more capable adult or peer is able to model ways of thinking that are slightly beyond the ability of the student, providing support for where the student is currently situated, which is the zone of proximal development, but encouraging cognitive growth. Once the student is comfortable with a new task or concept, the scaffolding can be removed or moved to another area. Students are challenged to grow, but with the support in order to avoid frustration. With reflection, the student can see the growth, providing motivation and interest in the learning process. Apply. It is not enough merely for thinking to change. Students must use what they have learned and be able to apply it in situations outside the classroom for true learning to have occurred. In each of the courses, we were required to construct products to demonstrate what we were learning. In many cases, these were papers that demonstrated our understanding and application of theories. A few courses required products that were more practical in nature, such as the authoring of a wiki page, creating online courses, or planning and writing research proposals. I have broken down the apply section into two parts that I feel encapsulate the application portion of my learning: practice and persist. In practice, I present artifacts that demonstrate how I am applying my theoretical knowledge. In persist, I demonstrate how I will continue to learn in the field of educational technology once the program is finished. Reflect. Reflection will enable me to see where I have come from, what I have learned, what needs adjusting, and how I can continue to build my knowledge. This e-portfolio as a whole represents a reflective activity. As I have considered my learning from a constructivist framework, I found a natural, organic linking of my learning between courses and assignments, indicated through the use of hypertext. Within the e-portfolio, I have also included some reflections from along the way. My reflective blog represents reflections as I proceed through this final course, connecting current activities with past ones. Within each of these four tenets, I have drawn connections through reflection to the work I have completed over the course of the MET program, demonstrating the knowledge I have built. In addition to the framework, I have also included a profile page. This is not merely to introduce you to who I am, rather it focuses on some important theoretical ideas that I have come across in the program relating to e-learning and the absence of physical bodies. In all my reflections, I have attempted to focus on connecting my understanding of theory to practice. The primary idea that I leave the program with is the fact that theory must inform the use of educational technology.